Hi guys, Matt here from Motobatt USA, and I'm here today to talk to you about all things Motobatt. Today we're here to introduce to you the range of Motobatt HP Pro lithium batteries. Now hopefully by the end of this short presentation you guys will have a better understanding of how to sell the lithium battery versus the lead acid, and also to advise your customer on the best technology for their application. Motobatt has 9 Lithium Pro HP models that covers 92 OE applications. Now guys, the reason that we have 9 to cover 92 is we have in that 92 we have all the later model motorcycles that have a charging system which is applicable to a lithium technology. Some of the early model motorcycles, really we don't advise that you use lithium with those models because the charging systems can be a little bit erratic, a little bit old, and it can run into a few problems. Lithium packs create a lot of energy, and for that reason we're able to fit the lithium pack inside multiple sizes of battery. That means that we can use the same quad flex system to reduce part numbers. In the applications where there is 4, we have 4. In the applications where we have 2, we have 2. We use a foam EVA spacer from 3M, and that gives us the exact bottom thickness that we need to reduce that inventory again. Now we all know these lithium batteries are a little more expensive than lead acid, so it's even more important to reduce our inventory so we're not having dead stock on the shelf that's taking too long to move through. Same on this guy here. This one actually is 3 different part numbers. So here you have one part number, you have the TX4U part number, now it's an MBTZ7S, and now we have an MBTX7U. At Motobatt we're all about premium. Quality and safety is extremely important to us, and we waited a few years before we came into the lithium market. Over the previous years we'd seen varying degrees of success with some of the lithium batteries that were coming into the marketplace, and we decided that we wanted to have the safest one on the market, which is the most important thing for us. Our HP Series lithium battery has a balance board, and in addition to that it also has a safety board with some very, very important features that reduce warranty issues, and as well as that make the product safe. Lithium batteries really lend themselves to being a racing battery. We don't really advise that you use them for an everyday battery, particularly if you've got extra accessories on your motorcycle. Lithium batteries make an enormous amount of cranking power, but one of the downsides is in most cases they don't have a lot of amp hour capacity. Now when we talk about amp hour capacity, we're talking about reserve capacity to run auxiliary systems on the motorcycle. It's extremely important for the safety and longevity of the battery for each one of the individual cells inside the pack to be balanced at all times. In addition to that, it's important to have a safety board inside the battery in the event of an overheat, a power surge, or undercharge, or short circuit. The main reason people would want a lithium battery is they're lighter. In addition to that, they're also considered to be safe and non-hazardous. Lithium batteries also have a very low self-discharge rate, so they can sit in storage for a reasonable period of time. However, if it's in your motorcycle and it's a modern fuel-injected motorcycle, you absolutely have to have a maintenance charger attached to this battery at all times when the battery is not in use. Because lithium batteries don't have the same amp hour capacity as their lead replacements, they are prone to going flat quickly when there's a power draw from the machine. Normal lithium batteries that don't have a safety board are actually rendered useless for the most part when the battery is drawn below 8 volts repeated times. they're quite expensive, these batteries, so you really don't want that to happen. So modern sort of motorcycle guys, it has an alarm system, road bike, anything like that. Typically within 4 to 6 weeks, one of these batteries can be destroyed just by the fact that even with the key off, the ECU is running in the background. So very, very important to have an over discharge protection. Okay, this is a very, very simple process. If the battery is drawn down below its 8-volt limit, the Motobatt safety board will kick in and take the battery to 0, and in doing that, it absolutely preserves the cells inside. And all it's required to reset the battery is to attach it to a Motobatt PDC Fat Boy charger to reset the battery, or a constant load battery charger. Lithium batteries shouldn't go over 14.6 volt charge rate. Now from time to time, guys, we know that motorcycle charging systems can be a little bit erratic. They operate in all kinds of environments where there's water present, things of that nature that can cause shorts inside the electrical circuit. So that can be a little bit of a problem if we don't have a control on the battery itself. So some of the other brands on the market will have a special battery charger that they'll sell along with their battery to balance the cells and keep the battery in good shape. And that's fine, but the only problem is when the battery is actually in the motorcycle, it's not plugged into the wall socket and it hasn't got the same cell control that it has when it's connected to that charger. So this is very, very important, and we've worked very hard to develop our own safety board to go inside our HP series, and we're very proud of that. So in the event that your regulator rectifier has a misfire and starts to overcharge the battery, once again the safety board will bypass and kick in and take that battery to 0. Exactly the same thing happens in high temperatures. So if you're out in the desert and it's extremely hot, the battery has a cut off at 75 degrees to make sure that there's absolutely no heat damage can occur to the battery. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that the battery will go into its safety mode. The first one and the main one is that you've gone for a ride 2 or 3 weeks ago, you've parked your bike back in the shed and you didn't put the maintenance charger on it. So now the battery may be in a lower state of charge. If you do go to start the bike, it's going to take a huge amount of pulse amps from the pack, and if it dips below 8 volts, again the safety board is going to shut in, and you'll know that straight away because you're going to get lights out. Everything's going to switch off, and basically at that point you need to take the battery out of the bike, put it on the Motobatt PDC charger and let the board reset. This happens very, very quickly, and the battery is very, very fast to recharge. With a small dirt bike battery like this one in particular, if it does trip the board, guys, it's only going to take about 20 minutes to recharge this battery to a point where it'll start the motorcycle again. The Lithium HP series batteries are not shipped fully charged. So when the batteries go out to the customer, they need to be charged first on the appropriate charger like a Motobatt PDC Fat Boy charger. You need to avoid long storage periods without recharging the battery, and again, you don't want to leave it in the machine without a maintenance charger on it. You need to optimize those cells all the time to get the longest life possible. Now, how much life can you expect to get from one of our batteries? Around about 1,000 times with 80% depth of discharge. Okay, so that's about 2 to 3 times more than a lead acid battery under the correct maintenance situation. Okay, now even after that 1,000 discharge cycles, the battery's still going to retain 80% of its usable value. So they're very, very impressive indeed in the right situation. Any 3-stage constant voltage or amperage charger will charge this battery. However, if the safety board does go, you need to make sure that the charger you're using will actually put charge into the battery under 2 volts. Many of the battery chargers on the market at the moment won't actually start under 2 volts for safety reasons. So that's why when our board goes to 0, you need to use a PDC Fat Boy charger or a constant voltage, constant amperage charger just to wake that board up. So that could be just a normal Pep Boys type of charger, but you need to be careful not to leave it on and overcharge it. And that's why we always recommend you use a PDC Fat Boy charger, because it is a maintainer as well, and it will give the battery exactly what it needs. While the charger's in float mode, you need to make sure that any charger that you're using is only in float mode with 13.6 volts or less. At no time exceed the amperage or voltage requirements for the battery marked on the label. If the charge does not reach 14.4 to 14.6 volts during charging, it may not fully top off the battery. So again, if you're uncertain, always use a Motobatt Fat Boy PDC charger. Just a recap on the HP Series Motobatt Pro Lithium battery, guys. Remember, lithium technology is a little bit fiddly. A few things that you need to take into account, okay? If anybody's telling you that you can go riding in the snow line with a lithium battery, yeah, you may end up with a bad day in the cold. Lithium batteries do not operate well under 0 degrees, okay? So again, if you're in a very, very cold environment, guys, I would advise you to choose the lead technology. It operates over a much broader range of temperatures, and it's less likely to let you down in case that you get into a very cold situation and the battery won't start your bike. So while lithium batteries are really exciting and they're light and they're a new technology, guys, it's important to remember, in cold weather, it may not be the best choice.